Foresters returned home to the Forest after a difficult meeting against the Ripon College Redhawks last week. Coach, we'll just start just some takeaways from you, just from your vantage point last Saturday.
Yeah, I thought our defense played really well. Most of the game, a few errors, but nothing big. Offensively, we turned the ball over 5 times. Really hard to win football games when you do that. Had a special teams error as well that cost us field position that led to a touchdown. And so, the game was kind of a sluggish game a little bit, I thought, for us. I don't think we came off the bus with the emotional level we needed to play. So we played functional, and instead of playing with that intensity and that higher level. And so I was kind of disappointed in that. I think we'll rebound from that aspect. I think our guys felt it too. But I couldn't tell you last time we turned the ball over 6 times in a game. So it's just something we don't do. And even Trey as a quarterback, you look at his season stats over the last couple of years, you can be hard pressed to find a multi-turnover game, much less a 4-turnover game.
Obviously, this is the real first set of adversity for this group here this season. What's just kind of been the messaging in film as you guys prepare to turn the page here this week?
Yeah, it's control the things we control. There's your cliche, right? Let's start off with that one. Be in charge of yourself. Take responsibility for your emotional output that day. And then the other part, the other 2 big things I think we've really locked in is, look, we've done this before. We did this last year. Lost to Ripon, had to bounce back to win out, to win the conference championship and get those opportunities. We did that, so this is not unknown territory for us. We know we have to do moving forward. The nice part this year is we actually control our destiny, whereas last year we really didn't. We had to win, plus have some things happen and all that kind of stuff. And you're sitting there on edge waiting for other people to do things for you so you can have what you want. This year we get to control all that, so we need to take that approach in the last 3 games.
Your team also has a number of 5th-year seniors, a number of them also some of your captains. Just talk about their leadership and how they try and guide some of the younger guys this week at practice.
Yeah, I think that they felt that they shared the disappointment, obviously, on Saturday. They knew what was at stake and what kind of happened, and I think that all of us were kind of looking at each other expecting something to happen where all of a sudden we would just go ahead and take the lead. We had an expectation that there was never a point where we thought the game was over, really, until the game was over. And I think that we were kind of going through that, but that methodical view just kind of lacked a little bit of the zest that we've had at other times. And I think that they're doing a good job trying to address that with their teammates. Unfortunately, for the guys that have been here for 4 years, they've only lost 2 regular season games. So they've only ever lost 2 games that they had to bounce back from and actually play the next week. So I do think that is something that they learned last year, and because of how they learned it last year going into this year, they know what needs to happen on Saturday.
Well, looking at the offense, obviously, you guys looking to reset things. How do you guys try and dictate the tempo here this Saturday?
Score points, and don't turn the ball over. I really think that's the worst part about last Saturday was we, compared to a year ago, we played Ripon a year ago. They schemed us, they talented us, they executed against us, and we did not play a good game against them. They beat us on our home field. But we also struggled for about 30 minutes in that game, not being able to move the football. There was never a point on Saturday where we couldn't move the football and get some of the things that we wanted. The problem was then we would jump off sides, or we would throw an interception, or we'd have a fumble, or whatever it might be. We kept doing things to ourselves to sabotage our success. A year ago, I think that it was a little bit different, and so we need to make sure that we handle that. Again, that's not to say that they didn't play a good game at Ripon. Obviously, they did. They forced into some of those things, but we really put ourselves in a position on offense where we're moving the ball, and in the air, on the ground, we had found things that were working with great success, and we just didn't execute it at the highest level we needed to at the times we needed to. So I think that offensively, there's no real reboot. It's just a matter of, okay, if 3 times we're in the red zone or 4 times we're in the red zone, we come away with points, we win the game. You only have to do it half the time. If you score half the times you're in the red zone, which would be like a super low percentage, instead we went 0 for 4 in the red zone and got back out of the red zone twice. And so to me, it's about completing the task that's at hand, and we got to just find a way to do that on Saturday.
Well, talking about this Saturday, you guys will get to return home to the Forest. Your team has been electric at home on Farwell Field. Just talk about the energy and the boost that gives your group every time you get to play in front of your home fans.
Yeah, there's something great about sleeping in your own bed and not having to get up at 6:30 in the morning, go to a game and things like that. And I think that our guys enjoy the charisma and the spirit that comes from everybody when we're out there on the Forester Walk. you know, when you walk up the hill and there's people excited for you, and there's faces you know, and you get a chance to see them and protect what is yours. And I think that's something that our guys take pride in. I think it's something that we will take pride in again on Saturday, and it's going to be a good contest.
Final question for you: Beloit College coming here to the Forest, keys to the victory here this Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, Beloit's a team that we're obviously really familiar with. Their head coach is our former offense coordinator, Ted Sankson, an alum of the college, and his defensive coordinator, Kyle Langhoff, also an alum of the Forester football program. So guys that know us, know the school. There's nothing that's a surprise when they walk on campus. It's all what it was when they were here, just about. And you know, they are a young team that has grown significantly in the last couple of years. Their games this year are significantly more competitive than they were maybe 2-3 years ago when they were trying to turn things around. And yet they're still playing a lot of young guys. I mean, 3 of their 4 starters in the secondary are freshmen, who are pretty talented players. I mean, they're good football players. They have some seniors at linebacker that are really the core of their team, and really you can see are the leaders and hitters and thumpers. And then on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, Coach Sankson was a record-setting offense coordinator here, and he knows how to get points on Farwell Field, and did a good job of that during his career. Very multiple, but I will say it's oftentimes kind of funny because it looks like we're looking in a mirror of the offenses. Our offense and their offense are very similar. The use of tight ends, the use of leverage, the use of screen game on the RPOs. I mean, it literally looks very similar to what we run. I've often said that if we ever had it our way, we want every team we were playing to play against Beloit the week before we played them, so that we could scout against what we would actually be running. And so that familiarity, I mean, obviously Coach Sankson and Coach Butts went against each other in practice for 4 years. And so they know each other, they know the adjustment pieces. It'll be a good game. You know, last time we played them last year, it was a super windy game. There was like 60-mile-an-hour winds, and so passing the football and kicking the football they were adventurous to say the least. So this year, you know, let's hope for some good weather and get out there and have a good, clean game.
Coach, as always, thanks for the time and best of luck this Saturday.
Great, thanks for having me.